moderate to low steady state cardio, which is a predominantly fat burning zone.
Zone 2.
Remember what I just said, everybody, fat burning zone. It means not dependent on glycogen and glucose stores in order to perform.
Yes.
A lot of what Russ just talked about is actually speaking to a higher level of performance, not athlete, but just individual who's performing for a greater purpose, if you will.
Yeah.
If you're going to swim the butterfly, if you're going to do a 200-meter sprint, if you are a football player, a baseball player, or a basketball player, you're on the bike doing intervals. Now we're talking about a different zone that's going to demand glucose and glycogen stores.
Zone 3, Zone 4, yes.
And what I want to do is also give everyone a visual before I hand the reins back to Russ, which is if you've ever seen CrossFit athletes who are the champions, right, the best of the best, the Rich Fronings of the world, they're a lot bigger and stockier than the leanest athletes who never really reach the podium, if you will. Because the lean athletes probably don't eat as much carbohydrates and or carbohydrate and fat combinations that the upper echelon athletes do, because they understand that the power output is so important.
You have hit the nail on the head. Oh, I'm so happy you said that. In terms of our storage depot. So yes, those ones who are lifting the heavier weights have to put out more power. They have bulkier, bigger muscles, right? Because they need that immediate power, that glycogen I was telling you about. So the more worked, the more demand put on a muscle, the bigger it gets, right? And given that I said in the beginning that your body, your glycogen, your muscles like to have a certain amount of glycogen that it likes to store. It likes to keep its glycogen levels filled. Yes, the more demand, the more work, the more glycogen you're able to store, which circles back to those with diabetes, insulin resistance. The resistance training is going to be your friend in terms of giving you that resiliency to be able to stabilize your blood sugars after a meal, because that's where you're, again, the muscles. So the more tone, the more work you're doing with your muscles, the more storage depot you're going to have, more flexibility.